everyone, and welcome back to this week's episode of Rio Talk. I'm here with
Madeline Torres.
and I'm Jasmine, and today we're going to be talking about fast fashion, a very common topic in social media, wherever you see it. Of course, it's clothes, so yeah.
So what fast fashion is basically just cheap produced clothing that can be found or made in China, Bangladesh, or India. It's basically just a bunch of underpaid workers. Usually they're women or like children under the age of like they're minors, like
Or old people.
or very
Also-
old people,
also.
and they're getting paid like not even like minimum wage, and they're producing these cheap clothing that are like found in stores like Shein. Shein is like
Shein's like the big one.
the big one.
It comes from China, and it's actually really sad. I know there's a lot of like documentaries that show like little kids and like people working, and they're just like hunched over on their sewing machines, like working super fast, and they make like $1 a day
Right.
just so like people that actually, some people even actually have the money to not buy that type of clothes, still do it because it's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really sad.
I was doing my senior project on fast fashion, and I watched a documentary about it, and I remember there was workers that were being interviewed about it, and they're talking about how it's the working conditions are like unfair, and that if they want to go like even on like a bathroom break, they would get like severely like punished, like they would actually be like abused like verbally and physically. And I just think that it like sucks for these people to like have to go through these conditions in order to make a living, even though like what they're making isn't even enough to like suffice.
Yeah, it's called fast fashion because it's fast. That's exactly why it's called fast fashion. I know a few years ago in Los Angeles, like in downtown, like there's a lot of like those old buildings. They actually arrested somebody because they had like this whole undercover, like they were exploiting people. So they were like making like dresses and other like clothing. It was like their own fast fashion workplace there in LA, and like they arrested the guy and he went to jail because they were like doing it like undercover and hidden. And in the US that's like definitely illegal.
I didn't even know.
So yeah, it's pretty sad. But it's also really bad, not just like for the people, but it really has a bad impact for the environment. Like fast fashion, why it's so bad is because the chemicals and the products that are in the clothing, they end up in landfills because it's bad quality, and then it all goes back into the atmosphere, and like it harms
the
pollution and anything basically. Yeah. There's also like a lot of brands like Free People and Urban Outfitters and Anthropology that they're so expensive, like over $150 for like one item. And I actually, until a while back, I was like, oh, maybe it's because it's natural, like they use like vegan clothing or they're made out of like plants or whatever, but it's not.
I thought it was just Free People. I don't know about Urban Outfitters. Like they're expensive. I don't know if their clothes is like vegan.
They're not. That's why it's expensive. Because of the price, I used to think it was.
Oh.
But then I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
So I don't get why it's so
expensive.
expensive.
Because it's like, that's also another thing too. Like some stores like Urban Outfitters, PacSun, you can find that at like the same like piece of clothing at like Forever 21, and it's like like a cheaper price, and it's basically the same thing, like same material. You're just paying less or more.
I think you're just paying for the name, but even the quality is the same.
Right.
So it's still fast fashion. It's just fast fashion overpriced. So
like,
yeah.
Why am I gonna go to Urban Outfitters to like buy like a small top for like almost $50?
I know, I used to do that, but I learned.
I never shop. I don't think I've ever shopped at Urban Outfitters or Free People or like all the big brands, because it's just so overpriced.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like,
It's not good.
no.
I know there's a lot of like alternatives to fast fashion and to help save the environment. Like thrifting. Thrifting's a big one that these past like few years, I think because of like social media and TikTok, and like a lot of people go thrifting now, and there's like thrifting hauls and stuff. Goodwill, Salvation Army, places like that. It's clothes that it's actually much better quality. I actually prefer to go through a thrift store because you find clothes that is better quality than what's in the stores. Because it's like people that I feel like thrifting is a lot of times like old people that sometimes like donate their clothes
and don't
like
realize how
and
like,
don't realize how nice
good
it is.
quality it
like
is.
I've been and you see like a rack and you know that's like some old lady's like closet, and I'm like, wow.
Like sometimes you can go thrifting and you can find like a good pair of like denim jeans, and like you get it for like $10.
$10, yeah.
But then if you find it at like Urban Outfitters,
It's like 100. So yeah, thrifting's like a really good alternative.
I love thrifting. I
me
literally
too.
that's all like ever since I was getting more into like understanding how fast fashion works, I've been going more towards thrifting, and like literally that's where I get all the majority of my clothes. I don't really shop like when I go to the mall. I think the only place I would shop at is H&M, but like other than that, that's about it. I'm always thrifting my stuff.
Yeah, me too. I think one of my favorite thrift stores is probably Salvation Army. I think that's hands down the best thrift store.
Salvation Army,
it's cheap.
It is cheap.
I think Goodwill's kind of expensive.
Goodwill
I don't know,
is
but like
kind of
I went to
expensive.
Goodwill once and I saw a shirt and it was $10, and I'm like, no way. Like this is an old, stinky, thrifted shirt for $10. Like that wasn't gonna work.
Yeah.
But Salvation Army is like, there's days where they have like everything for $1, and then they tag it. They have like green tags, yellow tags, white tags, and it's like, okay, green tags are like 75% off. So it turns out like so cheap. And I walk out with this big ass bag.
Right? I would either go to Salvation Army or Savers. Savers
I've never
is
been
always
to
a
Savers.
hit or miss for me. Like sometimes I'll have a good day when I go there, and then other times it's like I won't find anything.
I've never been there. I've been to the Salvation Army in West Covina. There's one in West Covina. That one's really good. I don't know where there's a Savers around here. That's why.
I know there's one in, I think I want to say in La Habra. It's next to
okay.
It's next to a Popeyes. I think it's next to a Goodwill also.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
I usually always go there. And then Salvation Army, I go to the one in Buena Park.
Oh, okay. And then there's also like people that make their own clothes, which I get so jealous of because I don't know how to make clothes. But I think people that know how to like knit or crochet or like anything that has to do with like something you can wear, I'm so jealous.
I struggled. I knitted this and I struggled.
It's so nice. Oh my gosh, it's cute. How long did it take you?
It took me, okay, well, I used like a loom kit, so it was kind of like not cheating, like, but it was kind of like an extra help because I'm still trying to learn. So this took me like a day to do it.
Oh, okay. That's not bad. But it was like the whole day and you were like there.
I was just doing it the whole entire day.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Honestly, I like the idea of people selling secondhand clothes, but then at the same time, it's also like another problem with like overpriced. Like if you go on Depop, sometimes like I'll be arguing with people because it's like they would sell something and it's like way overpriced.
Yeah.
I'm just like
they like those people like go to thrift stores, and I hate when I go to thrift store and I see like somebody and I know their basket is full of stuff that they're just gonna resell for like triple the price. Like the price that you would go to a store and buy something at that price, that's how they're selling it. And it's like I walk in and I'm just like, damn, like you're just gonna make your own money. And the point of thrift stores, well, back then was like people that couldn't afford like clothes at a normal price, they would like, it was like towards lower income people, but now it's like making a profit of it, which is kind of not the point.
Yeah, because I think that now that like thrifting's becoming like a trend, they're starting to raise the prices up like at Goodwill.
I know, I went and I saw that, but it's because they know that they resell it. And I'm like, damn. I know there's also people that they like have their small shops like on Etsy and stuff like that they customize clothes, like you can order like custom stuff or they make it. I think that's a pretty cool way too, because I know they buy all the fabric and it's their own labor, whether they do it like for a living or because they like it. But I think that's a pretty ethical way to like buy clothing too. I don't know if you've ever bought like from a small.
I don't think I ever have. I know I'm always like looking online, like on Etsy, but
Mhm.
I don't think I've ever bought in from any small stores. Usually, it's always jewelry that I'm buying.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I always like to buy jewelry that's handmade.
I feel like it's such nicer quality. Yeah. And I know there's like TikTokers that they make their own clothes, like creative wise. There's this one girl, what's her name? Myra, yeah. I've seen her.
Okay, it's her fashion sense is very interesting because she like has her own like style, and then she'll put like a crazy twist to it where she'll add like cable cords to her, or she always has to add something to it to make it like a little more like unique. Yeah, it's like her like staple piece where she has to have like something crazy. Yeah.
I know she sells like merch, and it's like kind of based on that. Like she sells merch with like a keyboard, like a sweater with a keyboard and stuff. Yeah, so I think that's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure she makes it too. I know like she makes that stuff. I've seen her sometimes, but I think it's cool. I stopped because like when I go on TikTok and I see a girl wearing cables, I have to stop and watch. Like, what is this?
Yeah, because it's just like you're intrigued by it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, how does she make it work? But she always makes it work. I don't know if I would ever wear a cable cord.
I don't think I could make that work.
Right.
But she makes it work. So
she makes it work. Yeah.
Yeah. Good for her. I know a lot of like celebrities also get sponsored by like fast fashion brands, and a lot of people are like really against it. Like I know for New York Fashion Week, it's like a really big, like Fashion Week is a really big thing in the fashion industry. And last winter, I think a lot of like social media people and stuff like that got invited to like go watch Chanel, and they're wearing like Fashion Nova. Really? And people were like, you guys are ruining the point of Fashion Week. It's like these high-end like lines, and you're getting there wearing like a $2 shirt. That's embarrassing.
That's another thing with like influencers where it's like they get sponsored by Shein or Fashion Nova. It's always those two brands.
Yeah.
And then they're always like doing like these like almost like $1,000 haul. And it's like they do that, and then they also try to like promote fast fashion. It's just like, what do you?
I'm like, what's your point?
Like your image on like fast fashion is like, it's very conflicting.
Yeah.
Because it like you're wearing fast fashion clothing, and then you're trying to like.
And then they say like, oh, I don't like it, but you're wearing it.
So. But you're wearing it.
I know like Fashion Nova, they're really annoying in a sense. Like they send out text messages. I don't have them, but I've seen like people that are like, Fashion Nova sends like 10 messages a day, and for anything like, oh, 4th of July, let's celebrate America with 30% off. Or they're like, oh, today's Happy Easter, let's like celebrate with blah blah blah. Like come buy this and come buy that. They said their marketing is so like intense. Like they blow up your phone.
So like insistent.
Yeah.
And it's like their clothes aren't even good. I remember I thrifted something from Fashion Nova like on accident. Like I didn't even read the tag or anything. It was a skirt. And not even like a week, it was already ripping.
Or it fades.
Yeah.
Like after you wash it, the color like changes completely, and I'm like,
it was like a leathered skirt, and it was just like falling apart.
Yeah.
The zipper broke and everything.
I know, like, I don't know if toys, I know this isn't fashion, but I don't know if toys are also like, are they made, like, are they bad for the environment? Do you know? Like Toys R Us, because when I was little, I used to sign up for, like, really little, like 7, and I had my email address, and I would sign up for Toys R Us and for their, like, emails, and I had to block them because I would receive 20 emails a day from Toys R Us, and now it gets me thinking, like, what about toys? Like, are toys, like, fast fashion? Like, are they good? It says toys are fast fashion.
Is it just because
toys?
Is it because of like the plastic?
I think it's the like fast moving. Toys are the new fast fashion, designed for the dump. Oh. Then is there like eco-friendly toys? I guess toys made out of wood would be like good toys, like eco-friendly toys. Also with fast fashion, I think it's like There's so much because every new week there's like a new trend. Like it's always changing.
There's always like every week, like the trends are coming in and out, and it's
Too
like
fast.
too fast.
Definitely.
And I feel like
I think it makes people want to like always buy like a new wardrobe, and they're like, "Oh, that's not in." Like I know for a while that like stripes, like the green, pink, like stripes with like the polka dots and like I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. That was like in, and now it's out, and now people are like, "Oh, trash."
And like that's how fast fashion like gets a lot of people to buy their clothes, because since it's, fast, they're always quick to like produce like the trending quality like patterns and designs, and so that makes people want to buy them. And like
I know like they steal, well, I don't know if this can be called like a conspiracy, but they steal like from other people's designs. Like I saw this girl, she customized her own Converse, like she paints Converse, and she like made it into like she made like a Grand Canyon Converse, and it was like red, orange, and yellow stripes. And then like a few months later, like Converse produced the exact same shoe, and she was like, "Oh my god, like I don't want to sound like I designed the shoe, but like that was my idea." And they produced like almost the exact same thing. And I know like Shein, they also like copy small businesses, and they copy like people that make clothes, their own designs, and then they sell it. So it's kind of like
no, because that's definitely like literally any type of fast fashion brand will copy any big brand or anything. Like you look up a specific skirt, you're gonna find it on like any like website. Like you'll find it everywhere because everyone's just copying to produce like to get the same profit.
They actually even copy like high-end stuff like Louis Vuitton, Hermes, Chanel, like whatever they designed that season, they just recreate it into their own, and now you see everyone wearing it, but it's not like authentic.
That's why whenever I'm looking for clothes, I can never tell. I'm like, was this actually created from this brand or was it created from this brand? And I don't want to buy it and then it'd be like off-brand or like something.
Like a dupe.
Right.
And then I know like a lot of people like there's like websites that even sell like fake dupes for like they say like Chanel, but it's not made by Chanel. And I know those are also extremely bad for the environment. And actually that's illegal. Like you can't, I know like on their websites they hide the name. Like they put like, for example, if it's a purse, they'll just show the purse without the logo, and then people know that it's the purse and they order it and it comes with the logo. But I know that's like illegal because one time I was watching this show on TV, and like they arrest people like at the airport for drugs and stuff, and this lady came in with like a bunch of fake like Gucci tennis shoes, and then like they're like, "Sorry, ma'am," and they took away all her stuff. So yeah, I know it's pretty bad.
Dupes are the worst.
I know.
Dupes that like when I used to work at Burlington, there was always so many dupes. Like you see like fake Gucci slides or like a Gucci belt.
But they don't even say Gucci. They say like Hoochie or like Poochie or Moochie, but anything but the G or the G backwards. Yeah. It's funny.
That's where they get you.
And let's see. But yeah, I think that fast fashion is pretty bad for the environment.
What do you think are some trend predictions? Like, what do you predict that maybe some trends will come back, or like?
I know, like, there's the trend of like the 2000s girl trend, like the low-waisted jeans, and there's a celebrity. She's always kind of dressed like that. She was on Disney Channel. I forgot her name.
Which show?
I don't remember, but she's always used to dress like that, and people judge her like hardcore all the time. They're like, "Ew, what the hell are you wearing?" and stuff. And like now people are like, "Oh, she was the blueprint for it." But I know that's one, and then I'm not sure. What do you think?
I feel like I keep thinking like checkered print. I don't know, for some reason I feel like everyone was always hating on checkered print, but I feel like that might make a comeback.
Checkered. I knew for a while checkered. I've seen checkered print, but it's not like the checkered print that you're talking about. It's like the like weird 2017 checkered print.
Mm-hmm.
That one.
Yeah.
That's like, but I know it's not. It's like different. I don't know. It's the way you wear it, I guess too. What else? Let's see. I know like denim shorts. Like
Oh yeah, jorts.
yeah, jorts.
Those
are
making a
really into.
comeback.
But that's like cause. Oh, I was gonna say also like, there's a lot of celebrities that they also thrift. Like I know Bella Hadid
Mm-hmm.
in a new, like I saw a TikTok and it was like, oh, this is her thrift, like her go-to thrift store in New York. I know New York has such nice thrift stores. They have like a lot of high-end products that are like from sets that like people wear, like the stuff they kind of send it to a thrift store and then they sell it there. And I know like a lot of celebrities try to do that also.
Mm-hmm.
They're like of course more expensive. Like I went to Santa Barbara the other day and there was the most beautiful thrift store ever and it was like designer high end and it's like a lot cheaper, but it's not like $10 like your regular Goodwill, but it's so nice. Like I walked in, I was like, oh.
I remember I went to Calabasas and I went thrifting there and I was expecting to see like some good stuff.
Uh-huh.
Literally nothing.
Really?
Yeah, it was just, like a bunch of like clothes that was like donated by like older people, but it's just like I wouldn't wear that.
Yeah.
But like
I
would
think old people have
expect-
nice blazers.
Mhm.
That's what I definitely like look out for when I go
Mhm.
thrifting. I was like, oh, I know this was an old lady's blazer. Now it's mine.
Yeah. If I were to go to New York, I definitely would want to go to all like the vintage stores and like the thrift stores because like you're bound to find something,
I know.
even
they're
though
so
it's
nice.
kind of expensive.
But I think it's more expensive because they're actually like taking the time to make it and like the product is a lot better, definitely. And that's why the price reflects on it. I think the main issue that people say is like, okay, well, I don't want to buy fast fashion, but I don't have the money to buy not fast fashion clothes. So what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like the main conflict because it is like kind of expensive. So people are like, ah.
Yeah, I struggle with that too because it's like it's hard to try to buy your clothes like
100%. Like not.
And then also not being able to have like the money for it. I definitely struggle with that. I forgot what the term was, but there was like a fast fashion term that like describes that where it's like if you know that you can't afford it, then it's like not in the sense of saying like it's okay to buy fast fashion, but just knowing that you know that that piece of clothing is going to like be in your wardrobe for like years. It's like not okay. I don't know
but it's acceptable. Like it's ethical
yeah.
because you yourself like I can't, but I genuinely know I can. So it's like okay. Yeah, I get you.
Do you think it's like okay for celebrities because celebrities they obviously make like a lot of money? Do you think it's okay for them to like go thrifting when you know that like you know some people who can't afford to make enough money should be like going there? Because I feel like if Bella Hadid is going there, she makes so much money. I think
that's kind of true. I know where she was going to was like a high-end like vintage thrift store, so everything's designer. It's just like vintage. But I guess, well, I don't know, see, because I saw this like, I don't know if it's true or not, how accurate it was, but I read this article that when it comes to like even high-end brands like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, whatever, like a Gucci bag is, let's say, like $3,000, but the labor, the materials, and everything they're using to make it would total to $80. So that bag should be $80. So you're just paying for the name. So because Gucci, I'm pretty sure, is not real leather. So it's not even that, like, it is good quality, but to an extent. So then I'm like, is that fast? I'm not saying that's fast fashion, but I'm saying it's definitely not like something
worth paying
that much. You're just paying for the name. Like they're like Chanel isn't leather either, and their diamonds on the logo, they're not real. So you're genuinely just paying for the name.
Yeah.
But back to what you were saying, like celebrities. I think they can, but to an extent. Like I think they definitely should not be reselling that stuff. I know like a lot of their clothing and products is from like PR and stuff like that too. So I'm like, okay. Like I know some people, like when they're going to a fashion show, like the company that invites them gives them like an outfit to wear. Like they're like, okay, like we're gonna send you this whole entire outfit and then you like wear it.
Yeah.
And I used to think, because I know we talked about how like people get a lot of like PR and stuff, I used to think it was free, but then I read that it's not free. They actually get taxed on it.
Oh, really?
So for every company, they send them like one of those like tax things, and then they have to pay like a portion.
I didn't even know. I thought PR stuff was just sent to you for free. I literally didn't.
I thought that too, but then they're like, no, the IRS like finds ways to like tax you on everything. So maybe you don't have to pay the whole thing, even if it was a gift, but it's still like a percentage because the company sent it out of like their budget. So you're going to have to like pay a tiny percent of it. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of a lot. Yeah. Like it accumulates because people get a lot of PR. So yeah.
I always get jealous because I always watch videos. But, like, when Emma Chamberlain goes on, like, Vogue and something, she's going to a fashion show, and then she goes in, like a little, what's the word? It's, like a little trailer, and it's, like, a full wardrobe. And she just gets to choose whatever outfit because they're all sent to her. And then she'll be like, oh, I think I'm going to keep this after.
I know. Or, like, actors or actresses, they're like, oh, I wanted to take that. I wore this outfit and I wanted to take it. I'm like, girl, you could have if you wanted to. Like, just snatch it.
Yeah.
So, I was saying that, like, toys. I was wondering about toys. So, this article from Big Future Toys says 90% of toys sold in America are made up from plastics, often derived from petroleum. And more of these toys ends up in landfills. Growing landfills result in increased production of greenhouse gas methane, chemical seepage into groundwater. Toys aren't doing much to sustain the world those kids will inherit. So they're really bad also. So aren't they like really bad for kids too? Like if these toys have like all these chemicals and kids are always like have everything in their mouth, I'm like, that can't be good either. Like there's a problem with that. Like, I know everything has chemicals, and, like, even food is, like, really chemical-based. Like, you turn it around, and it says, like, all these preservatives and stuff that are, like, when you look them up, they're, like, really bad. So
at this point,
everything's bad.
Everything that we're doing is just harming our environment.
Harming our environment and harming us. But I think it's, like, the same with, like, toys. I didn't know toys were that bad. Then what toys are good? That's so sad. Probably when I have a kid, I'm not going to give them any toys. No harming the environment.
Probably what you said, like any toys that are like made out of wood.
Probably wood, but like real wood. Or like
but like what child would want to play with something made out of wood? Obviously they're not going to want to.
I think the only thing that shows is like the xylophone, but like that gets boring after a while. Like
I don't think any kid would want
I've never seen a kid play an xylophone.
They would be more invested in like making or like playing with a toy car, Barbie doll.
I think those are full of chemicals too. They're pretty bad. It says plastic toys contain lead. So go for eco toys without toxic. What are eco toys? I mean, I know they're eco-friendly, but I assume they're like, okay, so there's some toy, and it's $80. $80? Oh, wood. Yeah, they're made out of wood. And they're kind of expensive. There's even a baby stroller made out of wood. I don't know. That's kind of like, if you search up eco toys, like, it shows a bunch of, like, stuff with, like, wood or like fabrics that are, I don't know, I guess eco-friendly.
I'm on this website called Norman and Jules, and they produce like eco-friendly toys and just anything for children. And there's like this kitchen set where it's like a stove and they have like pots and pans, and that's $265.
That's not cute. It's not cute anymore. So just the solution is no toys.
Okay. Well, we're going to wrap it up today. Thank you for listening. I'm Madeline Torres.
I'm Jasmine Soria, and we'll see you next week. Bye.